Assalamu alaikum students. We are going to study properties of matters, and in the properties of matter today we are going to uh, learn about the kinetic molecular model of matter and explain kinetic molecular model of matter, solid, liquid, gas forms, describe plasma as the fourth state of matter. Then we are going to define the term density, and we are going to compare the densities of the three states of matter. Now we know that uh, matter exists in the three states: solid, liquid, and gas. And there are many properties associated with them. They are similar, like all has the weight and occupies the space. And there are some properties they are associated with one state of matter but not with the other. For example, solids have their shape but liquid and gas do not have. And still there are various materials differ in hardness, density, solubility, elasticity, etc. So kinetic molecular helps us in understanding the property of matter in a simple way. So what is kinetic molecular model of matter? Kinetic molecular model of matter's features are: matter is made up of small particles called molecules or atoms. The molecules remain in continuous motion. So in the every state of matter, the molecules are in the continuous motion. That's why it leads to the idea of kinetic molecular model. Molecule attracts each other. The size of particles are different for different material. The particles themselves are very hard, but they cannot be squashed or stretched. But the distance between the particles can change. So it means that if we are, for instance, if we are stretching a rubber band, it doesn't mean that the particles in the rubber band they become bigger or they stretches or they squash, or but uh, it elongates because the distance between these particles, distance between the atoms, they increases or decreases, but the particle itself are very hard and they cannot be, their size cannot be changed and they cannot be squashed or stretched. The higher the temperature of the substance, the faster the particle move. At the same temperature, all the particles have the same energy, so do heavy particles will move slowly and the lighter particle will move quickly. Okay, now then we have kinetic molecular model of matter. We are going to read to what is the points in solids. Solids have following properties: they have fixed shape and the volume. Normally hard and rigid, a large force is needed to change its shape. They have high densities because they are very tightly packed. They are incompressible because they are all, their structure is such that they are very tightly packed, so they cannot be compressed. Their particles are held by a strong force of attraction called bonds. The particle vibrate to and fro about their mean position. They are not free to move from one place to another, but they vibrate on. They have the position, fixed position, and they vibrate about that only. Examples are iron, wood, glass, concrete, etc. So liquids, so liquids properties are: the liquid have fixed volume but no fixed shape. It takes the shape of the container. It can flow and fill up any shape. It is also called fluid. The proper particles are closely packed as their particles are loosely packed as compared to the solid, but they are near as compared to the gases. They can move past each other, so they can slide over one over another. They had a high density as compared to the gases, but they are low as compared to the solid. They are incompressible. Examples include water, hydrochloric acid, oil, etc. So the third state is gas. Gases have the following properties. A gas is a material that has no fixed shape and no fixed volume. Gas quickly fills up any space available. It is also a fluid because it can move from one point to another. The particles are spaced back, means they are far away, and the forces of attraction between them are negligible. They are free to move and at a very high speed. They collide with each other and walls of the container. So, since they are very far apart, they have low density and they can be easily compressed. So, these are the three states of the matter. Matter, you know that the solid can be melted to liquids, and if we further heat the liquid, it convert into gases. But what if the gases are further heated? It will convert. When the gases are further heated, they convert into the fourth state of matter, that is called plasma. So if the kinetic energy of the gas molecules goes on increasing, or the gas is continuously heated, it causes gas molecules to move faster and faster. The collision between atoms and molecules of the gas becomes so strong that they tear off the atoms. Atoms lose their electrons and become positive ion. This ionic state of matter is called plasma. Now, plasma is a highly ionized gas, uh, into which the sufficient energy is provided to free electron from atoms and molecules. Uh, in fact, a plasma is a cloud of proton, neutron, and electron. Uh, all the electrons have come loose from their respective molecules and atom, giving plasma the ability to act as a whole rather than a bunch of atoms. It is a very highly conductive state of the matter. It is also it allow electricity to pass through them, and it is also formed in gas discharge tube. For example, the new neon lights, etc., where the tubes where the plasma is formed. On Earth, plasma is a naturally occurring in flames, lightnings, and the auroras. Um, in most space, plasma have a very low density. For example, solar wind. Interparticle collisions are unlikely, hence these plasmas termed collisionless. Plasma are the most common state of matter in the universe, comprising more than 99% of our visible universe, and most of that are not visible. Plasma occurs naturally and make up the stuff of our sun, the core of the star, and X-ray beam, etc. Now you can see that this is all the four state of the matter. When the solid is heated, it converted into liquid. When the liquid is further heated, it converted into gaseous state. That is the vaporization. And when we further heat the gas, ionization take place and it converts into plasma. And the reverse is that plasma change into deionized as gas, and condensation, gas condensed as liquid, and liquid freeze as solid. But there is again a solid can be directly changed into the gas by sublimation, and gas can be changed to the solid by deposition. So this is the overview of solid, liquid, and gases and plasma. Solid state, when heat is provided, it converts into liquid, uh, and when further heat is provided, the molecules become further apart, and they are more energetic and they move with a high speed, and it converted into gaseous state. And gaseous state, when it is further heated, the electrons teared off, and they are no more, they are together, electron, proton, and it's the plasma, it just make a cloud of all all the electron, proton, they make a cloud of a bunch, and it acts as a whole, and there is nothing like atom or molecules. So this is the differences between solid, liquid, and gases. We have already talked about. So this is they have a solid have a strong intermolecular force as compared to the liquids, and liquids have a strong intermolecular forces as compared to gases. Solids definite shape, liquids no definite shape. Uh, gases do not have any definite shape. Similarly, intermolecular space is very less or negligible. The intermolecular space is moderate but present, and intermolecular space is free flowing and plenty. Force of attraction is high. Force of attraction between the molecules is moderate in liquids, and there is practically no or negligible force, intermolecular force in the gases. Solid are incompressible, liquids cannot be compressed, gas can be compressed quite easily. So these are the few differences uh, for the three state. Now we are going to do define the term density. What is a density? Density of the substance is defined as the mass per unit volume. So the more the mass in the unit volume, more will be the density. So solids must have the high density. Its SI unit of density is mass. The SI unit of mass is kilogram and volume is meter cube. So it is kilogram per meter cube. So density is a way to measure how tightly packed an object is. So how we are going to show that if we have a high density means more molecules, number of molecules in a unit volume. So the more number of molecules in the unit volume means that their molecules are tightly packed. So this is the few numericals for finding the density, mass or volume. So the question is, the volume of an object is 8 cubic centimeter and mass of the object is 84 grams. In the laboratory, we are going to use, we use obviously not kilograms and meter cubes. We are using the units, that is centimeters, CGS system, that is grams and centimeter cube. So the volume is given as 8 cubic centimeter. Mass of the object is it's 84 grams. So what will be the density? We need to find the densities. We know that this is the rho is the symbol. This is the rho and this is a symbol just we use to denote density. So density is mass per unit volume, that is 84 gram is the mass and 8 is the volume. So that is 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. The volume of the of an block is 5 centimeter cube. If the density of the block is 250 grams per cubic centimeter, what is the mass of the block? Now you know that in what is given is that volume is 5, density is 250 grams per cubic centimeter. We need to find the mass. Again, we are going to use the same formula. Density is mass per unit volume. So mass of the block will be density multiplied by the volume, that is for 1250 grams. So we are going to compare the densities of all the three state of matter. We have already by definition density is mass per unit volume. Since the solid are very tightly packed and they are distance between the particles are negligible, so solids usually have very high density. There is a exception, and the exception you can see is an ice that is even uh, is density even lesser than the water. That's why ice floats on the water. Liquid particle distance are uh, they are further apart as compared to the solids, so their density is slightly less than the solids. Obviously there are few exceptions. For instance, if we see mercury has a density of 13.6, that is even greater than some solids like iron and aluminum. So liquid iron has a density of 6.9. Gases, they have very their molecules are very apart as compared to solid of liquid. So their density is very less. For example, oxygen gas has a density of 0.0014 uh, grams per cubic centimeter. So generally we say that water has a density of 1. So um, more than, if there is a density is more than one, they are solids have the density more than one, and gases have the density less than one. But obviously there are certain exceptions are there. So this is about the three state of matter and density. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.